Aspire to a clean career, leaving no shame for descendants. Hello everyone. Welcome to Encountering Chinese Case Stories. Cases judged by Bao Gong. Today, I'm going to bring you a story called The Chef Preparing Poisoned Food. Once, after Judge Bao had finished relieving the famine in Qin Prefecture, he was keen to understand the local situation. Suddenly, the gatekeeper rushed in to report that there was a woman outside, cradling a child in her left arm and holding a piece of paper in her right hand, sorrowfully claiming to be wronged. Judge Bao, with a serious expression, remarked, "I am not only here for relief efforts but also to understand the local circumstances. Do not obstruct her, let her come in and speak." He instructed the gatekeeper to bring the woman inside, where she knelt on the steps. Judge Bao descended from the platform, carefully observing the woman and noticing that despite her haggard appearance, she was actually a beautiful woman. Judge Bao asked the woman, "What brings you here to appeal to me?" The woman replied, "My home is located 5 miles outside the city, in a place called Liantong. My surname is Wu, and my husband's name is Zhang Shu, who is a scholar. Not long ago, my husband befriended Sun Yang, the son of Supervisor Sun, the supervisor of the military activities in the city. They often interacted and regarded each other as close friends. One day, when my husband was away on a journey, Sun Yang happened to come to our house. Thinking that my husband often received his kindness, I personally received him without much thought. However, little did I know that Sun Yang harbored ulterior motives and had improper intentions towards me. I rejected him at that time and asked him to leave. Several days later, when my husband returned, I informed him of Sun Yang's malicious intentions and advised him to sever ties with him. My husband was very angry upon hearing my words and wanted to confront Sun Yang. However, I was worried because he was the son of an official with considerable influence, and we couldn't do anything about him. So, I persuaded my husband not to pay him any more attention. Since then, my husband severed ties with him. But a month later, on the day of the Chongyang festival, Sun Yang sent someone to invite my husband to drink at Kaiyuan Temple, claiming that there was something to discuss. My husband accepted the invitation and didn't return until late at night. As soon as he entered the door, he complained of stomach pain, and I helped him into the house. But later, his face turned blue, and his nose started bleeding. My husband, in pain, told me that Sun Yang must have poisoned him during the banquet. In the middle of the night, my husband died from the poisoning. Less than a month after my husband's death, Sun Yang bribed my uncle with a large sum of money, intending to forcibly marry me. Enraged, I wanted to file a complaint with the authorities, but Sun Yang set up roadblocks everywhere, threatening that if I refused to marry him, I would have no place to die. Yesterday, I heard that Judge Bao, you came here to relieve the suffering of the disaster victims, so I secretly came to tell you about my grievances." After listening to the woman's story, Judge Bao asked her, "Do you have any other family members at home?" Wu replied, "I have a 72-year-old mother-in-law at home, and I have this 2-year-old child in my arms." Judge Bao took her statement and ordered the bailiffs to have Wu wait outside the hall. Then, he privately summoned the local community leader and asked, "What kind of person is Supervisor Sun?" The community leader replied, "Your Honor, if you hadn't asked, we wouldn't dare to speak. Supervisor Sun typically abuses his power and deliberately harms people. Whenever he sets his sights on someone, he seizes them. He holds a high position and great power, even the county officials here dare not offend him." Judge Bao then asked, "What about his son's conduct?" The community leader said, "Sun Yang relies on his father's power. Recently, he has occupied a piece of fertile land near Kaiyuan Temple. He often brings prostitutes to drink and revel in the temple. He is arrogant and domineering, forcibly taking women from households in the village. The people dare not resist him. The monks in the temple hate him to the bone but are powerless against him." After listening to the community leader's words, Judge Bao sat in front of the hall, sighing heavily. He returned to the back hall, pondering for a long time, and came up with a plan. The next day, Judge Bao disguised himself as a bailiff and left through the back door of the yamen, secretly heading to Kaiyuan Temple to investigate. Just as he arrived at the temple, he overheard a monk saying that Sun Yang was coming to drink here, causing others to avoid him. Judge Bao was secretly delighted, thinking it was a perfect opportunity to find out the truth. He hid behind the Buddha hall and peered out through a window crack. He saw Sun Yang riding a white horse to the temple, accompanied by several servants and soldiers. He also brought 2 famous prostitutes from the city and a trusted chef. Sun Yang and his entourage arrived at the corridor, dismounted, and entered the main hall, where they sat on the round chair usually occupied by the abbot. Several old monks in the temple immediately came to pay their respects. Soon, several soldiers brought a dining table filled with sumptuous dishes. The 2 prostitutes sang and danced by the side, while Sun Yang looked smug, considering himself the most remarkable person in the western capital. Judge Bao, witnessing this scene, felt his anger rising. How could he tolerate it? Just then, an old monk passing by the back of the Buddha hall saw Judge Bao and asked, "Who are you?" Judge Bao replied, "I am a bailiff from the yamen. The magistrate will host a banquet tomorrow and asked me to find a chef. I saw a chef outside, but I don't know his name or where he lives. Can you tell me?" The old monk said, "That chef's surname is Xia, and he lives near Supervisor Sun's residence. He often cooks for Sun Yang at Sun's house. How can you invite him to cook?" Judge Bao asked. "Why can't I ask him to cook?" The old monk said, "I won't explain the reason, you wouldn't understand it anyway. A few days ago, Sun Yang invited a scholar surnamed Zhang to drink at our temple. It was this chef Xia who prepared the food and drinks. The next day, scholar Zhang died mysteriously. We all know that Judge Bao is a just and selfless magistrate. If you let this chef prepare the banquet, if anything goes wrong and harms Judge Bao, how should our county magistrate handle it?" Judge Bao listened without saying much, immediately slipped out of Kaiyuan Temple, and returned to the yamen. The next day, Judge Bao dispatched his constable, Li Hu, to the vicinity of Supervisor Sun's residence to apprehend the chef named Xia and brought him to the hall of the yamen. Judge Bao said to Chef Xia, "Someone told me that you poisoned Scholar Zhang. Tell the truth now, and I may spare your life." At first, Chef Xia refused to admit, but when he was taken to the prison and interrogated rigorously by the jailers, he reluctantly confessed to poisoning Scholar Zhang to clear his name. He also revealed that it was Sun Yang who instructed him to do so. Judge Bao then interrogated Chef Xia in detail in the hall to understand the whole situation. He then pretended to send a bailiff with an invitation to Sun's residence to invite Sun Yang to the yamen for a banquet, instructing 24 sturdy constables to prepare torture instruments on the side, ready for action. Shortly after, a bailiff reported that Sun Yang had arrived. Judge Bao personally welcomed him into the back hall. After seating themselves according to their roles, attendants brought out the banquet. Sun Yang said, "Judge Bao, you have shown me great hospitality despite my father not being able to come to greet you. I am truly humbled." Judge Bao smiled and replied, "I invited you here not out of mere courtesy but to address a matter." After drinking for a while, Judge Bao took out a document from his sleeve and handed it to Sun Yang, saying, "As this is my first visit here, I am not sure if you are aware of this matter." Sun Yang saw that the document accused him of poisoning Zhang Shu, the husband of Wu. His face turned pale, and he said, "How could I commit such a murderous act, especially without any evidence against me?" Judge Bao said, "You want evidence? Here it is." He immediately ordered the jailer to bring Chef Xia forward to kneel on the steps. Sun Yang was terrified and speechless at the sight. Judge Bao commanded the court clerk to read Chef Xia's confession to Sun Yang. Trembling, Sun Yang pleaded, "I am guilty, but please spare me for the sake of my father." Judge Bao thundered, "You and your father have harmed the people. I will only uphold the law, and there will be no leniency for you." He then summoned 24 constables, stripped Sun Yang of his official hat, and had him flogged 25 times. Due to the severity of the beating, Sun Yang couldn't bear the pain and died. Judge Bao ordered his body to be dragged out of the yamen, and the misdeeds of Sun's family were documented and submitted to Emperor Renzong. Shortly after, the emperor issued a decree, stating, "Supervisor Sun's behavior was cruel and violated the law, thus his official position is revoked." Chef Xia, who was hired to murder with poison, committed heinous crimes and is sentenced to be enslaved in the harshest region. Wu sought justice for her husband, and the case has been resolved. The local authorities are required to provide financial support for her family. Judge Bao's relief efforts and fearless pursuit of justice for the deceased deserve commendation. Therefore, he is promoted to a position in Hunan Prefecture in the western capital. After the decree was issued, Judge Bao executed the judgment as planned. From then on, the powerful figures in the court trembled at the thought of him. All right. Today's case story, the chef preparing poisoned food, concludes here. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. Please also encourage everyone to comment and share with others. See you again in the next issue.